I'm recreating Heston's perfect Christmas, just not quite as perfectly. This is In Search of Imperfection. I'm attempting to recreate every dish from Heston Blumenthal's Perfection Christmas from 2007. Today, the final amuse bouche, that is, a wafer with memories of childhood. This is given scant seconds in the programme, so we don't really know a lot about it. The only things I can go off is it appears to look like a communion wafer, of which of course there are many recipes for this around, but there's no specific recipe for this amongst Heston's bibliography. However, since the publication of The Fat Duck, he has added a dish called Counting Sheep, which is about bringing together childhood memories, and not just childhood but nursery memories. He wants to make you feel like a baby. Who knows why. But there's no specific recipe of this. There's hints at it in different interviews, articles and Instagram posts, but really we're flying on empty here. So I'm going to go for a communion wafer recipe with simply milk and flour, a very, very simple dough baked that should dissolve very quickly. But to capture a great deal of those flavours, I've come across a commercial brand of tea from Pucker that captures a lot of those fragrances in. It's designed to be a restful harmony of sweet and floral notes, and it contains chamomile, fennel, licorice, manuka honey, vanilla. So I'm going to start with that, then add a few more things to make life interesting. So I've got here 100 millilitres of milk, to which I'm going to add one of these flavoured tea bags. To that I'm also going to add some lavender from my garden and a little extra vanilla just to boost the sweetness. Now I'm just going to simmer that gently and then completely turn the heat off and allow it to cool, just to let the flavour steep and infuse. This infusion of milk technique and idea is something Heston does a lot of, so I think this feels, if not the actual recipe, then it feels like the right direction to go in. I've rolled out my dough as pretty much as thin as I dare. And now I'm just going to cut out some little wafery sized treats and cook them in a dry frying pan. Well, I was working blind here, and I think we've ended up with something a bit more like chapatis than wafers, but it's subtle, but those flavours do come through. The chamomile, in particular, is quite strong. A little bit of lavender. Yeah, not unpleasant, but not one to go out of your way for. Wafer? No, never mind. I've ended up with a small bread, rather than a true wafer that dissolves. But interesting nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next one.